Hello, everyone. I am in the Yahoo Esports studio today to talk to Doublelift, who is still up in Seattle. I don't know if he's ever coming home. What's up, Doublelift?
Oh, hi, Travis. I'm good.
I like how you. Oh, hi, Travis, as if you did not realize that I was here.
I was watching YouTube. Hello.
All right. What were you watching on YouTube?
I'm looking for an MMORPG to play in queue.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you played the most recent Overwatch update?
No, Overwatch sucks to play in queue because I keep getting into games and then I have to leave and then I get flagged as a leaver and then so I don't know. I don't want to get screwed and have it permanently flagged as a leaver.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about a couple things. So first off, I have to ask about this because as we filmed this on Tuesday, yesterday there was a Reddit thread that I saw that I didn't really look into that said, Doublelift officially confirms he's coming back for Summer Split on stream. Is this true? Have you officially confirmed it? I feel like we've heard so much from you about one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't really know why that deserved a thread because I pretty much always say the same thing. It's just like, donators will be like, hey, are you still coming back in summer? And I'll be like, yep. And yeah, I mean, I don't really understand why that became a thing or a thread, but I pretty much just reiterated that I'm going to come back and I fully am committed and have plans and have already set up around being a pro player in summer. So whether that's on TSM or another team, obviously my preference is always to be with TSM, the best team, my favorite owner to work with, just my favorite org. So hopefully, everything works out.
Well, let's talk a little bit about TSM so far. Well, first off, let's just talk about the LCS. Are you even watching LCS or do you take those as days off?
Oh yeah, so when LCS is going on, I can't stream. So I'm usually taking those days to go to events, festivals, and parties and stuff, or just hang out with Bunny. I don't usually intently watch LCS. I don't sit down and watch, but I'll go on Twitter or sometimes I'll tune into Twitch just to see who's winning. It's actually really hard for me to watch TSM's games specifically because there's that sort of attachment that I have towards them, and it just feels really weird. It feels super weird. A lot of conflicted feelings and stuff. So I don't watch their games as much. I just kind of keep up with how they're doing. I tend to actually watch a lot of C9's and CLG's games because I find their games pretty interesting too. And I don't have that attachment either. So yeah, so far LCS has been okay. I think in general the region sucks though. Games are really slow. Doesn't feel like people improve that much over after Worlds. So kind of low quality games, to be honest.
You sound like you're talking about an ex-girlfriend when you talk about TSM. A lot of conflicting emotions. I don't know I can't really watch it. It's just crazy. I mean, what does that even mean?
Well, I mean, I'm watching my team play without me. Feels weird. It feels weird to see them do well. It feels weird to see them do poorly. I don't want to see them fail and lose because I know how that feels. And when I see them win, I'm happy for them, but at the same time, I'm kind of damn, I remember what it was like to win with these guys, and I sort of miss that feeling.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's also just weird because TSM's games, to be honest, they're pretty boring. I tried. I mean, for the opening week, I watched them. Week 1, I watched some of their games, and it was this is so slow. If they're gonna lose, at least the enemy team should play well. But it's both teams are playing pretty bad. I don't know. I saw there was a Reddit thread about what Mark Z said about them, which was they have amazing mechanics, so it's hard to punish them, but they don't have good macro yet. So they don't really know how to close the game out really quickly or effectively. I think that's the case for literally all the top teams, maybe with the exception of C9, but even then it's whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of mixed feelings. I don't know. I just don't really watch too much LCS in general though.
Are you worried that you will, if you plan on coming back in the summer without having any context to the LCS, that you'll be missing something?
Well, I think I watched enough to be still relevant or still keep up with the meta. But especially right now, it's NA's level is so low compared to like LCK. I mean, when I watch LCK's games, those are actually some like really amazing games, I think. So yeah, I don't think I'm like out of it or anything like that. I mean, I still play solo queue at the highest level. Last week I was ranked 2. This week I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, I play pretty high level, and I think I still think about the game pretty high level as a pro player. So I don't think I'm gonna fall out.
Do you attribute what you perceive to be a weak North America to your absence from the scene?
No, no. I mean, extremely. I'm not that egotistical. Like that's a small drop in the bucket. I think all the imports coming in just like switched up all the rosters. So, well, not just the imports, but all the roster changes, and then it's hard for teams to have good cohesion right away because you're playing with like a whole new squad. I don't think any team had the same roster except for CLG. And then I was thinking CLG is going to be really good in the beginning because they're the only team that stuck together. Every other team has to go through some sort of big roster change, and the CLG sucks in the beginning. So I don't even know what's going on. I think the meta changed, and teams are still just trying to find their foot in their play style or whatever they want.
You know what's interesting is I keep interviewing LCS pros at the studio, and I keep asking them, like everybody seems kind of competitive with each other. Maybe there aren't any bad teams, and they kind of say, yeah, I don't think that there are necessarily any bad teams this split. You seem to imply that there are no good teams this split, and just all the teams are bad.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, last split, summer split, season 6, I think was super, super competitive. Like Immortals was super dominant throughout the regular season. They were like amazing. C9 had their ups and downs. Like sometimes Meteos looked like he was clutching really hard, and some games like Meteos had no synergy with the rest of the team. C9 ended up doing really good that year. I don't know, like I feel like 2016 Liquid could have potentially made Worlds. Like they're pretty close. I guess the other teams were kind of meh now that I think about it. But now I feel like there's no standout like amazing teams except for C9. I think FlyQuest is pretty overrated. They haven't played like an actual team, a really, really strong team like so far. So, I mean, the record looks pretty good, but And I think CLG is going to bounce back. C9's looking good. I think TSM is going to improve over time. Immortals is like boosted now. I don't know what happened to Pobelter, and their roster just doesn't seem that good or mesh together very well. Yeah, to say that there's no bad teams is kind of weird. Like Envy looks really bad, and who else looks really bad? I forgot.
CLG maybe. They seem
Yeah,
to be
maybe
doing
CLG,
poorly.
but I think CLG will do well. Like they always do end up doing well. Envy looks pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, but anyways, yeah, that's just weird. I feel like the level you can just tell by the average game time. Like if you can't close out a game, if you get like a 5K gold lead, you can't close out at like 30 minutes or 35 minutes. There's a big problem when like games are going 40 to 50 minutes. It means that the teams who are getting ahead don't know how to win with the lead.
Yeah. What do you think as a bystander about the 10 ban, the 10 ban system?
Oh, I really like it because it switches up draft a lot. It also creates situations where you can potentially ban out a role and force certain roles onto like non-meta picks, where before it was just like there's such a few number of bans that you can basically have a champion pool of 4, and there's no way for you to get banned out. That's not really the case anymore. People have to be a little bit more versatile. Now, on the flip side, I think what's happening right now is teams aren't really used to it. It just came out, so you see the same team comps every single game. Like first pick Kha'Zix, trade for another OP. It does seem pretty cookie cutter. You see like Kha'Zix, Orianna, and like Maokai or Poppy top a lot of the games. And then for bot lane, you see Varus and Ashe literally every single game in NLCS. I don't think there's been a single game yet where there's not either a Varus or an Ashe on one side. So yeah, it can get a little bit stale. I think it would be even more stale, or like more formulaic if it was still 3 bans, but it'll probably get better over time. I like the 5 ban idea though. It makes it so you're kind of scared. You're like, if I have a champion pool of only 5 champions, what if I get banned out, and then I can't play anything?
Yeah. What do you think about the AD carry situation? I saw people saying, what was it? I think it was Forgiven or somebody tweeted like, Oh, you must have known what the AD carry situation was going to be like, and that's why you decided to take a split off.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think it's funny actually that when I chose to take a break is the time where 80 carries seem there's a lot of discussion about it. But honestly in competitive it's pretty similar. Pretty similar. Playing 80 carry, you just try to win lane as much as possible without dying, and then after that you just group and you're a extension of the team. You can't make plays on your own. You need to communicate with your teammates to set up plays, and you can't take towers without your 80 carries. So, like, I feel like the best 80 carries are just the ones who, right now they're the ones who can play utility and set up the most number of plays like at the right times. But I hope in the future it's not like that where you're just getting 5-man bot lane all day and you can only play utility, because I feel like that's kind of boring.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, a terrifying question. All right, you right now are looking at coming back for the summer. Obviously you're hoping for TSM and all that, but the AD carry situation isn't that great. Is there a world at which Doublelift is like, you know what? Now is my chance to switch roles and try something?
No, hell no, dude.
Really?
Hell no.
Why not?
Yeah, I've invested too much time. I put too many of my eggs in the 80 carry basket.
I mean,
I don't really like playing any
I
other
played
roles
mid,
either.
right, for a very long time and then switched to something else.
Look how that went. I just think playing 80 carry for me is like that's my thing. I don't see it changing anytime soon. I really like playing 80 carry actually, even though everyone bitches about the role right now. I mean, I'm the
you
number one ranked
also
80 carry.
complain about it, right?
Yeah, I do complain about it because I think it's, but even so, like I enjoy it despite the fact that it has all these shortcomings. Like I'm the number one ranked 80 carry on the ladder, and I stream all my games, so I'm getting ghosted all the time. Like I think you can still carry games as 80 carry, even though everyone just bitches and complains about it. I do think a lot of the criticism of the role is like it's pretty valid. It's pretty grounded. The truth is there's not a lot you can do as an 80 carry when you're getting 4-man consistently for like 10 minutes straight. You're just going to get shit on and have no game impact. But 80 carry in competitive is like the same thing anyways. It's like after 15 or 20 minutes, you're going to be the main source of damage, consistent damage, and your team can't take towers without you. 80 carry is a really, really like mechanically intensive role. So, I don't know. I think for the vast majority of players, though, playing the role kind of sucks. I agree.
Yeah. When we post this video onto YouTube, I've noticed the same time we do interviews with you or other 80 carries, especially you, somebody's going to say, oh, he thinks he's the number one 80 carry in solo queue. My boy, I'm a cutie pie is actually the best. Do you have any retort?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Do I have a retort?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what to say. I try cutie pie every time I see him in solo queue.
Oh,
Pretty
boy.
rare, though.
Oh, boy. All right.
It's true.
Igniting a war. I wonder if he's going to have good fire back.
I love that we should talk each other nonstop, but he's actually hella nice to me, and he's cool.
Yeah.
I like that we don't like get butthurt about this stuff.
Yeah. What have you learned anything unique or interesting about like going through solo queue or whatever? It's such a different environment than what you've been playing in for years and years. Obviously you played solo queue, right? But since you've been so immersed, I'm just curious if there's anything interesting that you've gotten from it.
Well, playing it 10 hours a day makes me kind of scared sometimes that I might lose touch with like how a real team would play. But every time I play solo queue, I get overly frustrated, I guess, sometimes when my solo queue team doesn't play like how a LCS team would play, because I'm so used to playing with a pro team, like a team that knows what to do and how to cover for their 80 carry when he needs to farm, and how to get vision, and like I see all these challenger players and I get really frustrated when they don't know how like the basics of the game, just like fundamentals. So I feel like, yeah, there's a big difference in the play that I see, but in terms of my mentality, it's not very different. It's like I think about what's like the best and what is the easiest and most effective way to win for an 80 carry. And in a pro player's shoes, you would do the exact same thing. So overall, my mechanics have been pretty good recently, though. Yeah, playing a lot more. I'm just playing a lot more games. Every day I'll play like 10 to 12 games versus when I was a pro, I was playing like 6 scrims, I guess, and then some solo queue afterwards. So I play considerably more games now than I did before. And yeah, I hope that will result in my overall like level going up. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, how long is it going to take you to get back into form, for working with a team and all that?
I think I could do it anytime. I'm not gonna lie. I like think about it all the time how I would communicate and how I would play within a team setting because it's just like I don't know, it's just like built into my brain, you know? Every time I get into a situation, I think about, what would I say to my team if I had a team right now, like if I was on voice chat, and also like what would I do if my team wasn't a fucking like animal zoo with like four idiots blaming each other. Um, yeah, I think my brain works
I mean,
the
didn't
exact
you
same
have that
way.
experience whenever you were on CLG in the beginning?
I mean, it got fostered. It was fostered over years of training and practice.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I didn't. I definitely didn't think like that before.
Uh,
Time.
I'm also kind of curious. Okay, so you've taken the step back. Like so many people who do something for so long, they go and take a sabbatical or something for several months or a year, and it allows them to kind of reflect and give them a different perspective on things that they just kind of took for credit. Is there anything that have you done any of that? Are you like set aside and like watching the LCS from now or every now and then and sort of thinking about all the stuff and really learning or being introspective about yourself?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for sure. Well, it's pretty obvious when I watch TSM's games that it hurts in an not like in an emotional way or something, or I don't know. It's not very comfortable for me to watch TSM's games, and I think part of that is because I'm not a part of it, and um, I guess like taking a step back, I don't regret my decision at all because this is like a really great time, but I realize that playing pro is my passion, and it's the thing that like keeps me going and keeps me fulfilled, and that's just like part of who I am now. Like I love playing. I love playing professionally. I love competing, and without like working together, I think working together with the team on the same united goal and having to deal with like the politics of being on a team and competing and having fans and having like this big test at the end of every week where you play LCS, like this whole lifestyle is something I miss a lot, and it's just my passion. It's just what I want to do. And if you like there is a documentary that Riot released called Fight, and it was about a Muay Thai fighter, and he said something along the lines of like the most important thing to a person is just their passion. You can't separate them. So when I heard him say that, I was like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't realize how important competing was to me until I took a step back. And I think it's really good for me in the long run because, if I didn't take a step back, I wouldn't have realized just how motivated I was to do it and how much I wanted to do it. Because then I would think on the other side, I'd be like, well, what if I became a full-time streamer and like, what if I didn't do this anymore? Because the life is kind of unhealthy to be a pro. So yeah, I did have a lot of introspection like around this time, but that's why I'm fully planned and committed to coming back. On the flip side, though, doing this has been really lucrative and also really good for my long-term career. Like, setting up for my YouTube and my Twitch and just like getting used to this, the idea of being a content creator over being a player. It'll set me up in the long run. When I'm 30 years old and I got old man mechanics and I can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, hey, let's round out the interview. I noticed in the beginning you mentioned that on the weekends when you're not watching LCS, you're going out to festivals or shows or parties. As your longtime friend, this sounds just very different from anything I would expect from you.
It's weird.
What is it? What are you doing? Are you going to like EDM shows? What is this?
No, I mean like there's always events going on in Seattle and stuff.
Like what are the
Or
ones
just
that you've gone
hangouts.
to?
Somehow I managed to get into an Amazon party, which is like their yearly party, and I think there's like DNCE, and I saw Sansa Stark, the actress who plays Sansa Stark there. Yeah, it's like all the Amazon employees can bring someone. So I was there. And then this weekend, I went to a Chinese Lunar New Year festival. It was like it was like in Chinatown, a bunch of little stalls and shops and stuff, and just a big event going on. I don't know, there's usually something going on, and I mean, I'm not like getting wasted partying hard, but on the weekends, I like to go out and watch a movie or just go to Seattle and like just do something cool, do something unique. It's like having a real life for once in my life.
Yeah. Did you dance at the Amazon thing?
Yeah, I did.
Really? Oh my gosh, you are a different person. I've
Travis,
only seen you dance
kill
like
yourself.
once before. What? I don't
Travis,
think
kill
that
yourself.
you've been spending too much time in solo queue if you're going to make statements like that in an interview.
I know.
You're becoming
It's got
so
in my head.
toxic. Yeah. You need to cleanse. All right. Well, anyway, is there anything you want to say to any of the Doublelift fans? Or there's a lot of people I think that watch TSM games and say bring Doublelift back or something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty mean to Wild Turtle. But thanks for supporting me, and thanks for watching my stream and wishing for me to come back. And I'm gonna do really well when I do. So yeah, I mean, for those who are following me throughout this journey, just really appreciate you guys.
If you were in the LCS right now, how would you be doing?
I'd be smashing everyone. Are you serious? Guaranteed.
Well, thanks so much for the interview, Peter. I'm looking forward to you coming down sometime soon. I keep my evenings open. You just still aren't here. Drives me crazy. Anyway, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports here at Yahoo Esports.